So we've had your bog standard criminal organisation, we've had pirates and then some form of cult, crazy spacemen, medieval knights who then go on to become effectively marines and ninjas, and then fashion models. So what possibly could the evil team for Sun and Moon be? Well, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I present to you quite possibly the greatest evil team in all of Pokemon, literal gangsters. I am loving Gen 7.
Where's North from here?
Alright trainers, SomeNorthernGuy here, and the other day we got some leaks for the trailer that should have come out early morning on the 12th of August, but leaked screenshots came out, the trailer got brought forward, and those leaks got confirmed, so that means Alolan Raichu is real. Let that sink in a minute. Probably more importantly than Alolan Raichu though, we got the first look at the evil team for Sun and Moon. Team Skull. I love Team Skull. Look at them. The designs, they're fantastic. You can just see they're going to have so much personality to them. And the big boss of them, Guzma, he just, look at him. He doesn't look like Giovanni or Archie or Cyrus, you know? He doesn't look like an evil team leader. He just looks like... It looks like he could just be a trainer class, you know? Which I really like, actually. His design is fantastic. You can tell he's going to be full of attitude. So, I want to have a bit of a look at Team Skull. Bit of a slightly in-depth look at them, going through what I think their motives are going to be, going through the Pokemon they use, the design concepts, basically everything. And I think Team Skull are definitely going to be the best evil team we've ever had in Pokemon. So, let's get started. So first of all, I just want to have a bit of a look at the main characters of Team Skull. Obviously, the big one is the team boss, Guzma, like I've already mentioned. So according to the official Pokemon Sun and Moon website, Guzma is the boss of Team Skull who holds these ruffians together. Guzma pours on the attacks, battling without mercy. He certainly does seem strong, but he claims to be one of those who never could become captains. He seems to have a bone to pick with Professor Kukui as well. Now what I take from this is maybe Kukui, being the professor of the whole Alola region, he's obviously going to have authority there, you know? He lives on Mela Mela Island, but he's the professor of the entire region. Maybe he has some say in who the trial captains are, and perhaps Guzma was in line to be one, and basically I can see Guzma being like, sort of like, a bit of a prick, maybe, you know, using questionable methods as a trainer, and Kukui says, no, you're not right to be a captain. And Guzma basically goes off and creates Team Skull in, like, response to that, to get back at Kukui, maybe? So, that's Guzma. The admin of Team Skull, I don't know if she's the only admin, but she's the only admin we've got so far, is Plumeria. I think it's pronounced Plumeria. I'm calling her Plumeria. So Team Skull admin Plumeria. Plumeria is considered the big sister of Team Skull. She's a tough lady who keeps Team Skull in line and working together, in the same way a strict older sister would. She seems to care for the grunts who are below her in the pecking order, and she's not one to let go if someone's given them a wallop. I like that, you know, it's not just like a, you know, my underlings go and do my bidding like the other admins are, or seem to be at least. I like that. I like how they're just, you know, they're sticking together. She comes to the aid. I think she's got a bit of a, like a good side in her, I suppose. We'll see. We'll definitely see. I think there could be something there with Plumeria that we need to look out for. And a quick look at the grunts. So, both male and female Team Skull grunts wear matching black skull tanks. All these uniforms aren't provided for them. All grunts have to buy their own. So, the design of the grunts, love it. Absolutely love it. They're such cool designs. And I love that. They're just normal people. They're not like knights or pirates, you know? They're just bog standard normal people doing bad things. Love that. Absolutely love that. And just to touch quickly on the designs. Plumeria, love it. Her design, fantastic. I love that she's got Team Skull tattooed on her belly. That's really, really cool. Guzma, I've already said I love his design. I love the massive gold medallion chain. That is really, really awesome. But the main thing I want to touch upon are the shapes of Guzma's glasses I don't know what they are, but whatever the hell is holding Plumera's hair in place, and the hats of the grunts, they're all very distinctive. You know, they've got, I mean, especially you can see in Guzma's glasses, one eye is different to the other, and if you look carefully, that's the same on all the others. Maybe, is this meant to be something in relation to the Duskull line, perhaps? Team Skull, Duskull, makes sense. What if we're getting a new Pokemon that is, going off that design, probably a ghost type, I can see. Skull and crossbones, you know, it's a skull, ghost, you know what I mean? Maybe we're getting a new Pokemon that is related to Team Skull, and it's like the main Pokemon, I suppose. Who knows? But I think the hats and the shape of Guzma's glasses, like that distinctive circle and then like a semicircle, I think that has something to do with a lot. I don't think that's just a design choice. I think that is there for a reason. I think something is going to come from that, whether it's a Pokemon or yeah, it'll be a Pokemon. That's going to be related to some form of Gen 7 Pokemon, if not the Duskull line or something that already exists. So look out for that. And speaking of Pokemon, what Pokemon are Team Skull going to use? Well, the Japanese trailer that revealed them looks at Team Skull a lot more in depth than the English trailer does, and we see a lot more gameplay, including battles. And from those battles we can see that in a double battle, two grunts use a Drowsy and a Haunter, Plumeria uses a Golbat, and Guzma uses an Ariados. And also in the English trailer we see that one of the Team Skull grunts uses a Zubat in a single battle. So that seems to be a pretty bog standard thing of the evil team. There's quite a few poison types in that mix. There's also some psychic types, which I can't remember which team it was, but one of them actually did use psychic types a fair bit, I think. Or they use some of them here and there. But it seems to be the typical poison, psychic, dark, ghost type Pokemon that the evil teams like to use. I haven't seen a single Rattata Yungoos yet though, so here's hoping. It is kind of typical that the admin gets Golbat. That tends to happen. The grunts have Zubat, the admin gets a Golbat, and if he's going to have it, then I can see Guzma having a Crobat. We know he has Ariados. I don't think that's going to be his ace. I think that'll be the one he sends out first. His ace, I think, is going to be a Gen 7 Pokemon, and I think it's going to be that Ghost type, or whatever Pokemon his glasses and, you know, the hats of the grunts are based off. If that's going to be a Pokemon, and it's not a legendary, then I think that is going to be Guzma's ace. And I can probably see Plumeria having the first evolution of that, if it does evolve. If it doesn't, I don't know what she'll have. But we know she's got a Golbat, and the grunts like to use Ghost, Poison, Psychic, and probably Dark types as well, so pretty standard stuff. The Japanese trailer also shows us a lot more of Team Skull's mannerisms, and I gotta say, I really like it. They do like this signature pose. It's obviously like a gang sign, and it's meant to look like a skull, but it actually looks like they're trying to imitate a monkey. And as you can see from the Japanese trailer, which I'll link in the description, they're always throwing up like gang signs and stuff, and doing what you typically expect your stereotypical gangsters to do, which I like. I do really like that. There is a lot of personality, and there's a lot of thought going into the design of these guys. They're not just stood there speaking. They're moving all the time. They're doing things with their hands, you know? And the way they speak like you would expect them to. It seems to be that when you've got two grunts together, one is called Grunt A, and one is called Grunt B, and they will call each other B and A. That's pretty cool. I mean, grunts are technically starting to get names now. I know in the past they had Grunt 1, Grunt 2, but they're actually referring to each other by B and A. But overall, their character design, their mannerisms, their personality, the things they do, the things they say is spot on. I love it. Absolutely love it. There's so much personality there. I can't remember the last evil team that gave us this much personality and character development in just 2 short trailers. I already feel like I know everything about Team Skull and what they're going to be about, you know, just from the poses they pull, the way they speak, and just the look of them. I can tell that these guys are probably like social outcasts. You know, they're all had something or another that's like cast them out society. So Guzma he couldn't be an island captain because he was too much of a prick. It probably is something along those lines of why he can't be a captain. I can just see the grunts joining Team Skull because they've got nowhere else to go, perhaps. Or maybe they just, you know, they want to laugh. Maybe it's just a weekend job, it's just their mates. you know, and then they go home and have tea with the mum. And one other thing I kind of noticed in the Japanese trailer, in that double battle, they don't show this in the English trailer, by the way, because the design for the grunts, they have normal Pokeballs, but in the Japanese trailer, they're not normal Pokeballs. They actually look like Safari Balls, so maybe the traditional Safari Zone's back. Which I find interesting, because maybe they've got those Pokemon from the Safari Zone. I would love to see trainers having new, different Pokeballs or just a Pokeball. Maybe you'll find some random kid who's got a really good Pokemon, like he's ace of his team, is like in a Great Ball or something like that. Instead of everyone is using Pokeballs, maybe someone's got a Luxury Ball on one of them. Just little variations like that, I think would really, really liven it up a bit. Obviously when you start out, people have Pokeballs because the Pokemon are weaker. The more you progress, the more you see Great Balls and Ultra Balls and things like that. Maybe the Elite Four and the Champion all have Ultra Balls or something, you know? That'd be pretty sweet. And finally, what are Team Skull's motives? Well, Guzma obviously has something against Kukui, so I can see the ultimate goal as being getting back at Kukui for whatever he did. Probably not letting Guzma be a trial captain. I think that's definitely going to be what he does to him. And then on the website it says they're just there to steal Pokemon and just generally be evil. So I think they just want to mess up people's days, just for the kicks, just for the fun and the thrill of it all. I mean, in the Japanese trailer again, you see a lot of places where Team Skull reside. It's almost been turned into like, a fortress, their own hideout, They've like trashed hotels and spray painted the walls. They've put up like corrugated iron barricades and stuff and taken over parts of towns and things, and it looks like you're sent there to sort them out, so hey, you're like a 14-year-old kid with a fire-breathing cat, go and sort these guys out, please. So I think ultimately their goal is to piss off Kukui in some way or another, or get back at him for something. I can't see them having something to do with the legendary Pokemon, but they obviously will, because the evil team always does. But Team Skull don't seem like the guys who have some sort of agenda of taking over the world and world domination. It just looks like they just want to mess things up for people, So maybe if they put in some whole, we're going to take over the world, I wouldn't like it. Because they're just there to be annoying and there to be pricks. So hopefully that's not their ultimate goal. We then need to find a way to bring Solgaleo and Lunala into the story. So unfortunately, that probably will happen. But Pokemon are turning things on its head with Sun and Moon. Maybe they won't. Maybe they'll just go back to being evil, badass people like Team Rocket. So then overall, I love Team Skull. I absolutely love them. Everything about them so far, I absolutely love. The only thing that would ruin them for me is if their whole agenda is using Solgaleo or Lunala to take over the world, or destroy the world, or do something with the legendary Pokemon. They don't seem like that type of evil team to me. So hopefully that's not the case. Keep your eyes peeled. There's more Sun and Moon on the way. We're getting close though. It's August, it comes out in November. Not too long to wait. And I am hyped. Hopefully you're just as excited as I am, especially about Team Skull. Let me know, do you like Team Skull? Leave a comment down below, and I'll see you guys in the next video. But until then, have a great week. I've been SomeNorthernGuy. If you like this video, hit that like button, and I do not say this often, but if you like the channel, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.